Hey everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Popcorn Problems in 2026. We hope everyone had a wonderful new year. We are recording this ahead of time, so it is a little bit of a different episode. Instead of having our weekly review, we are going to be giving you guys our top 10 of the year, our bottom 8 films of the year, our top 5 of the decade, and our top 10 most anticipated for 2026. I forgot to introduce my very good friend and fellow co-host Nick.
Howdy.
How you doing, Nick?
I'm doing a okay. I'm just excited. I think we have a pretty good selection here going on, and I want to hear what you guys think.
Yeah, okay. I feel like there's no need to kind of fluff this up. Let's just get right into it. We decided to only do honorable mentions for the top 10 list of the year. Everything else is just going to be as listed. So I say let's spitfire our two honorable mentions. Nick, you want to go first?
For what is it for top five or top of the year?
We're doing top of the year. Yeah, just honorable
All
mentions
right, yeah.
first.
So for number 12, honorable mention, I'm gonna put Eternity. I thought
Interesting.
it was while I wasn't a big fan of the writing or necessarily like the delivery of everything, I thought the premise in itself was very interesting, and I really liked the love story behind it. And I don't know, it was just it's a very interesting film that when I first watched it, it was low key bland, or I thought it was bland, but I ended up thinking about it a lot more. And yeah, I don't know. Eternity is my honorable mention, number 12. What about you, Alone? What's yours?
Yeah, my honorable mention number, I guess number 12, or my, we have two honorable mentions, and then we
Yeah.
have our top 10 list.
Mm-hmm.
I guess in 12th place, would go Splitsville.
Wow.
Splitsville is a movie I didn't even know about until Nick recommended that we review it for the podcast. And I'm very glad he did. I think it took me really by surprise. It had a really nice message, which I think, uh, I wouldn't say it came out of nowhere, but it was very unexpected. It was not what I was expecting going into the film. I think the comedy was really fun. It was filmed really well. And if there's not many films that I would rewatch this year, but that is one where I would be like, huh, I should rewatch that film. So yeah, definitely Splitsville is probably the smallest movie that we've reviewed for the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So I know not many people have seen it. So definitely go ahead and give Splitsville a chance. You'll definitely not regret it, I think.
Absolutely. I have Splitsville on my list too. It's higher up
Oh,
though,
very
so
cool.
yeah. So we'll see. But that's very cool. Um, so yeah, so I guess that leads. All right, sorry, did you finish?
Yeah. So you can go. You can start us off with your last honorable mention before we start the list.
Yeah. So my last honorable mention is gonna be Fantastic Four. I really like this film. I thought it was really great. The production design, the style of it, it was all beautiful. It was exactly kind of what I wanted from a Fantastic Four film from Marvel, which is good and bad because they gave me what I wanted, but I wasn't entirely impressed or surprised by anything. Nothing blew me away. So yeah, as much as I like the film, it's not one that I'm really catering to or hankering to go to a lot, or thinking about a lot. Yeah, I just thought
Hmm.
it was okay. Fantastic Four.
Nice. Yeah, my final um, honorable mention for the year is going to be Begonia,
Hmm.
which is interesting because I am not a Yorgos Lanthimos fan. And so I didn't have high expectations for this film, and so I was very happy coming out of it to be surprised by how much I enjoyed it. I think it was super well written, super well acted. I think Yorgos Lanthimos didn't go too deep into his style for this one to like weird me out how he normally does. I was able to just enjoy the movie, and I really liked the things it had to say. I liked the way it was shot. Um, yeah, I don't know. I really liked seeing I love seeing Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone on screen together. I think they have such good screen chemistry, which is probably why Yorgos Lanthimos keeps casting them in his movies,
Hmm.
just because they're electric together.
For sure.
And so yeah, I really like Begonia, and it almost made my top 10 of the year. And for context, by the way, I watched 120 new releases this year.
That's
Marty
insane.
Supreme, no, sorry, Marty Supreme was 121 on my letterbox like list of like every movie I've seen this year. Like new release.
That's crazy. Yeah, I haven't seen that
So
many.
I had a lot. I had a lot to kind of go through.
I'm very interested to hear your list on.
Yeah. So with that being said, let's start our top 10. You can go first. What do you have at number 10?
Sure. So for me, at number 10 is Zootopia 2. I was actually impressed with how much I really like this film. Um, I think more than anything, just the animation really captivated me throughout. I was very impressed by just not just the animation, obviously, the colors, the texture of everything, but also, the actual story of it, had a gripping effect on me more than I expected. I had really low hopes for Zootopia 2, or not low expectations for what it would be, and it superseded them and superseded the original movie in my opinion in terms of quality. So yeah,
Really
yeah, for
interesting.
sure, for sure. I thought it told a more interesting story, a more interesting crime, and I think the relationship between Judy and Nick was better developed and for lack of repeating for to not repeat myself or to repeat myself more interesting as well. um
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know, I liked it a lot. What is
Nice.
Yeah, what is your top 10 line?
My Yeah, so I just want to quickly mention Zootopia because it's not on my list,
Mm-hmm.
but it definitely deserves to be mentioned because it's one of my favorite animated films of the year, if not my favorite animated film. Um, great movie and some of the best of recent Disney that I can remember.
For sure.
My number 10 actually is going to go to Marty Supreme, which may be a little low, I guess. I want to preface this by saying that this is my list, and I am very big on, I guess, how things make me feel rather
Mm-hmm.
than how good of a movie I guess it actually is. And so this might not be like the top 10 best movies of the year. This is just my top 10 of the year. Which is why I guess Marty Supreme is so low. Great performance, great story, great pacing, great cinematography, great side characters. Um, Maybe if I had more time to think it over before making the list, it could have been higher. I only did get to see it one time,
Mm.
and I did just see it, so it is going to be a little bit um, fresh in my mind, not really able to simmer with my thoughts and let it grow. Which is why it's at number 10. I think if I rewatch it, it would go up in my preferences, but still, by no means is it a bad movie. Quite the opposite. I think it's fantastic. Probably my favorite performance of the year. Um, and yeah, Mario Supreme is my number 10 movie.
It's Marty Supreme, it's Marty Supreme. Bet.
Yeah.
So
Um, yeah, I guess I'll just quickly dive in with number 9,
go ahead.
and we'll just go like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for number 9, I have Wicked for Good, which I found to be quite surprising, seeing as I wasn't crazy about that original film. I thought it was great, but I wouldn't say I loved it. But I really, really enjoyed the second one. I was really into the plot line and the character relationships. I think it was really interesting. I think the makeup and costuming and the hairstyling and everything on a technical level was just superb. I really liked the way the musical sequences were shot, especially No Good Deed. I think that one was just really, really cool. The only thing that's stopping it from being higher is the color grading. It's unfortunate that such a well-made movie gets bogged down by ugly color grading. I think it could have been higher if not for that, but that's just a style that John M. Chu went for the Wicked movies, so it is what it is. But yeah, I really enjoyed Wicked for Good more than I expected, more than the original,
Hmm.
and it made number 9 on my list of the top 10 of the year.
That's very interesting. Wicked is nowhere near my list, but um I definitely saw the highlights of the film, and I see what you're talking about. Like, I see why you have it rated so high. I wish I don't hold it as in high regard, but I think I think there's a reason or I think it's a good reason that that it's on your list. Um,
Yeah.
so are we just so should I go ahead with my number nine? Uh,
Yeah, so you'll go with number nine,
all
and
right.
then after you finish nine, you'll do eight.
Yeah, yeah. So, my number nine is actually Roofman, the Channing Tatum movie. Um,
Okay.
I
Interesting. I did not think you liked that movie as much as that. That's cool.
I didn't think I would like that movie as much as I did either. But I think just honestly, what I always think about it is the way it's shot. You know, very grounded, very like zoom in, zoom outs. I think the film they use on it is very interesting, and I don't know. I was just really struck by that film in a way that I can't really honestly describe. I just think the journey of this character. I don't remember their name. Um, is really interesting and like gripping to some for some reason. I thought Channing Tatum played them also really well, really funny. Um, I don't know. The double life idea, it just really struck me throughout the whole film, and I was moved by it. So yeah, Roofman number nine.
Yeah, it was a great performance by Channing Tatum.
Mm-hmm. And Kirsten
Really,
Dunst,
really
honestly
well.
too.
Yeah, right. I really enjoyed Roofman.
Yeah,
I'm glad it's on your list.
I really do like how grounded it is, how like normal it is, how much they emphasize
Like,
the
yeah, he's just an everyday guy.
he's just an everyday guy and he's just interacting with everyday people, but they're all caught up in this like in this extraordinary story. I don't know. I very much like that. Yeah, and then I guess my number 8 on this list is Splitsville. Yeah, I really love this film.
I'm really happy this made your list. That's really cool.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. There's no way it wouldn't have. It was funny as hell. The story twist and turned exactly the way it should have, and yeah, no, I just want more. I honestly just want more from Michelangelo Colvino. I want to see what he does next, because I think these like interpersonal comedy dramas, are really good, and I just want more. So yeah, Splitsville number 8.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I already mentioned Splitsville. Such a fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
Such a great surprise, and I'm really happy it made your list, like I said. So at my number eight spot, I'm gonna put One Battle After Another.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
great outing from Paul Thomas Anderson. I think it has my second favorite leading performance of the year with Leonardo DiCaprio. He's so good as Bob. He just really sells the drugged out,
Mm-hmm.
crazy revolutionary
Mm-hmm.
so well. So just suspicious of everything around him. Um, I think Sean Penn was just hilarious in that film. Just so like his walk, the way he delivered his lines was just so good. It really fit the movie. Um, I don't know. I just think in general, it's just a very well made movie. It was very. I was successful, right? Did it make
Yeah,
did
yeah,
it
yeah.
profit?
I think it made a good amount of money. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it profited. It at least got back what I'm, or did it? Fuck. Oh wait. Um. Also,
Let
hot
me
take,
see.
real quick. Hot take.
Hmm.
Even though I guess on a technical level, Timothy Chalamet's performance was better, I did enjoy Leonardo DiCaprio more. In One Battle, his performance more than Marty
Yeah, they
Superkiss.
were both fantastic. They were both so good.
Like I think if I had to pick one for Oscar, I don't know. I think it would have to go to Chalamet, but I just enjoyed Leonardo DiCaprio's performance more. I thought it was funnier and just more enjoyable.
Yeah, I think they might just give it to Leo just because Timothy Chalamet is going to have so many opportunities to get an
Uh,
Oscar in the coming years.
yeah.
This is already what going to be his fourth nomination, third.
I don't know. I wouldn't know that.
I don't know, but he's gonna win multiple Oscars in his life. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is his first one, but he definitely has some tough competition against Leonardo DiCaprio.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I just overall the ensemble cast in that film was so good, from Benicio del Toro to Teyana Taylor. It was just such a fun, energetic watch, and it had one of my favorite shots of the year. which was like the hill driving scene, just so well
Oh,
made,
for sure.
so cool to see in the IMAX cinema.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so good. At number seven, I'm gonna go with Sinners.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, another just wonderful outing from a respected director this year. Um, I think Ryan Coogler is one of the best like blockbuster auteur directors that we have right now. Like he's a good middle ground between blockbuster movies and artsy films. I feel like he strikes a very good balance, which audiences clearly enjoy. Michael B. Jordan is phenomenal in the dual performance. Um, I think it would have been amazing because I think Chadwick Boseman would have played one of the brothers had he lived,
Mm.
obviously.
Yeah.
So I think just thinking how that could have been is really emotional and really cool. I think the musical moments in the film are fantastic. Some of the supporting actor performances are phenomenal. Um, Haley Steinfeld, a gem in the movie. Miles Catton is such a good, I think his breakthrough performance, very good. Um, and yeah, it was shot. It was so beautifully shot. The music, I think I already mentioned the music, but the music was just so nice. The production design was awesome. I liked how like it tied into like history and like politics in the South between the Irish and all that. The juke joint was just such an iconic, I feel like, location in cinema that we're gonna be looking back to in years and just reminiscing on it because it's just such an iconic location. Um, and yeah, I just think this movie had probably one of the biggest cultural impacts, I would say. Um, and yeah, I would say that maybe it does belong a little higher on the list, but there's just so many good franchise films that came out this year that have to, just in my own bias, have to be a little higher. So it
Mm-hmm.
kind of pains me to put Sinners this low, but such a damn good movie. I need to rewatch it, and yeah, number seven, I'm gonna go with Sinners.
For sure. I actually don't have Sinners on my list, unfortunately. Um, as great as as great of a film as I thought that was, it didn't strike me um, like other films on my list. Also, a lot of franchise bias films. So, but regardless, I thought it was great. I think having I didn't know. I mean, I know you said this could have been a thing, but having Chadwick Boseman in Sinners would be an interesting move if he hadn't passed away, unfortunately. But yeah, it's a great film. Regardless, I'm still anticipating whatever Ryan Coogler makes next. Which I think he's making actually Black Panther 3 next. Is that something? Am I right about that?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, exactly. And then after the Black Panther franchise, I wanted to see him like make more Sinner, which is more original stuff. Because as much as despite me it not like really sticking with me, I still think that it was an incredible film with stupendous style, and I don't know, there's a lot of potential in him.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, and just real quickly before I move on to my number seven, One Battle After Another made 200 million. Wait, made 205 million worldwide on a budget of between 130 and 175 million dollars. So it at least made even. Yeah.
Nice.
And then so my number seven is gonna be Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out story mystery.
Oh, great film. Glad it's getting recognition on your list.
For sure, dude. Yeah, no, I mean, what a great film. I think it was just something that I completely did not expect from Ryan. What's his name again? Ryan Johnson. Yeah,
Yeah,
from Ryan Johnson at this point, especially considering that like I liked Glass Onion. I didn't think it was anything too wild though. It was definitely it's definitely my least favorite of the list, of the three. I mean, so yeah, so having him come to this film with like a very from a very personal perspective, um just really impressed me, really took me by surprise, and everything along with it too. Josh O'Connor's performance, the way the film was directed and shot, all the different stylings, and Josh Brolin also great performance in that film. I feel like we don't talk about that as much, and yeah, I don't know. I thought it was just a great movie. Knives Out, if you haven't seen it yet. And do I go on to my yeah? I go on my next one, and then yeah. So for my number six, I'd go with Superman. Superman was such an incredible film
Awesome.
to me. Um, I don't even know how to explain it. I'm so glad we live in a world that has the Superman film that it does. I'm so glad this was the year that this came out. It was appropriately on time, and I don't know, just I feel like I've talked about it a lot in previous ranking videos as well. But just the way that everything is balanced in that film and the story it tells with the characters that it has. I think what also strikes me a lot about that film is the ability to be so unfocusedly focused and to still drive home uh while not super personal or introspective story, still a relatively, emotional story. Um that had an impact on several people. And yeah, I don't know. It was a great movie to me, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited that it's the foundation of this universe that we're gonna get ahead of us. Yeah,
Yeah, I have Superman on my list, so I will talk about it when we get there.
for sure.
But I'm very happy it made your list. I think it's a great film. And regarding Knives Out, I definitely didn't enjoy it as much as you did. I know um, that, but it definitely is a great film and definitely one that holds up in the franchise and is a very welcome entry in that franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Um, with that being said, I'm going to move into number six for me, where I'm going to put Hamnet.
Hamnet. Okay,
I
wow.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Hamnet. Um, it was very touching. It was very personal, and it made me uh, think about art a lot and how it's used as a uh, uh, form of grief for some people.
Mm-hmm.
And art has been a form of grief for me in my life. So I think just seeing that kind of visualized in a movie was very touching to me. I think it was very well written, insanely well performed, with my favorite female performance of the year from Jessie Buckley. Um, I think it was beautifully shot. The cinematography is just, I mean, it really makes you wonder how Kevin Feige is still a free man after having someone of this talent in the MCU and then letting them squander it like that.
Absolutely.
Um, it's just a masterpiece. It's something where it's not like a movie I would just put on just because I want to watch a movie, but like when I want to experience art, like
Mm,
when I want to take a walk through the Louvre, but
I
I can't go
see.
to the Louvre,
Mm-hmm.
I would put on Hamnet.
I
Paul
like the way you
Mescal
put
was
it.
great. Yeah, Paul Mescal was great. It was William Shakespeare, not in your face, like, oh my God, it's William Shakespeare. Um, just very sweet, personal movie, very tender, and um, one I definitely recommend everyone sees at least once.
For sure. I wrote just real quickly. I don't have Hamilton on my list, but I do think it's an incredible film, which I would agree is a great experience of art more than an actual like film in itself. Um, beautiful, beautiful film.
Yeah. So at number five, I have F1,
Hmm.
which was one of the coolest and most exhilarating movies of the year. I think Brad Pitt in this movie just exclude like not excluded, just like gave off such energy and such presence that like he just commanded your attention in every scene. The cinematography was just stellar. It truly was like Cars was my favorite movie growing up. Favorite cartoon movie, animated movie.
Hmm.
So it really just was a live action high stakes Cars. Just shot so well. The sound design was just phenomenal. If Warfare wasn't in contention this year, I would say it easily is hands down the best sound design of the year. Um, Damson Idris gave a great supporting performance as like the rookie driver racer in the film, and I think he's like being considered to take on the role of Black Panther, which I love. The idea of that, I think he's awesome. Um,
That'd be
I don't know. The
incredible.
music was just so good. There's this one shot after Brad Pitt wins the race and
Hmm.
Javier Bardem's like celebrating with the fireworks in the background. That's just like a generational like reaction image. It's so. Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's so good. Um, and it was just a welcome surprise, just because I really thought it was gonna be a nothing burger of a movie, and so I love going in with that mindset and then being really, really pleasantly surprised. Um, and yeah, I just one that I've thought about, maybe not the actual plot,
Hmm.
but how I felt while watching it a lot since leaving that theater. So it's definitely one I will be rewatching again. And if you are a fan of racing, if you're a fan of cars, if you're a fan of like high adrenaline movies, F1 is definitely for you. Definitely watch F1.
Yeah, F1 was an incredible film. I remember coming out of that theater like, yeah, that blew me away. It's not on my list, but I think it's spectacular as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so my number five is gonna go to Sentimental Value by Joachim Trier. Um,
Mm,
I really just was
very cool.
engaged the whole film throughout. I love the politics and the drama of this family and what they're going through, and how each of them show what they're going through um, in their own interesting ways. I also think having like the relevance of having this like American film perspective through Ellie Fanning in that movie adds an extra layer of
Oh, she was
intrigue.
so great.
She was so great. No, everybody in that movie was so great. Honestly, I want to see the main actress. I forgot her name. Actually, let me look it up. What? Give me 1 second. Sorry. Whoopsie doodle. I want to see the main actress, Renee Rainsby, and more stuff. Just because in both this and The Worst Person in the World, uh, she's given an incredibly personal performance that I've never seen another, or I've rarely seen replicated in actresses, especially in our generation. Um, some a very subtle and personal, but also emotionally bold. I don't know. I want to see her in more stuff. And yeah, Sentimental Value was a great film. I also need to mention Stellan Skarsgård, doing his great being his great Stellan Skarsgård self. Um, yeah, I don't know. Great film. Please watch. And which leads me to my number four, which on my list would be Marty Supreme. Um, I
Okay.
I am afraid a little bit of recency bias on this one, but I did really like this film a lot. Um, I still need to see how much it sticks with me as time goes on. But I watched that film, I think, at this point a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And no, a week ago. My bad. Not 2 weeks ago. Um, and it still stuck with me. It's still great. Um, yeah, I don't know. Just the journey that it takes you on throughout the whole thing is so much fun. I've never. Well, very few films this year have had me engaged like Marty Supreme did. Not just with the performances or not just with the story, but also the music, the actual sport that was being played. Everything about it was just gripping. So yeah, Marty Supreme.
Yeah. I personally don't have sentimental value on the list, but another great, great film, with another great performance from the year of Elf with Elle Fanning, one of my favorites of the year as well. And Marty Supreme, I love the like I said, and that is earlier on my list. So, um, I like how our lists are somewhat similar,
Just in
but
different
also
order.
really, really different.
Yeah.
Yeah, very different as well, which is very fun. Um, so yeah, so that brings us to number four, where I have How to Train Your Dragon.
Really? Okay.
Which maybe doesn't belong here just for the fact it's essentially a shot by shot remake, but shit, it worked on me. I thought the movie was beautiful. Just hearing the score and seeing the visuals of Burke again, but this time, perfected in a realistic style, was just very fun. Um, I don't know. I think they casted the characters really really well. Um, and just sitting in that cinema when the test drive score kicks in. I mean, it's just magic. It doesn't get much better than that. I mean, How to Train Your Dragon is just a franchise that I've loved and beloved since a kid. And so, yes, maybe it's cheap and doesn't really belong here, but shit, it works on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I, had a great, great time with How to Train Your Dragon. That moves us into number three, where I put Fantastic Four First Steps.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I really, really enjoyed Fantastic Four First Steps. Um, it was everything I really needed that movie to be. I feel like it came out in the perfect time too, where I was just in such a superhero-y mood between Superman and the hype for Fantastic Four. It came out right at the perfect time. I think it's probably the most gorgeous MCU movie, if not the most gorgeous, then it's definitely the most gorgeous that we've had in years. Um, I really, really grew to love the cast, even though I was a little skeptical at first. Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, just their chemistry is fantastic. I love their dynamic together. Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm just stole every scene he was in. Ben Grimm looked phenomenal. Um, it it was really, really good. Um, Let me think what else I want to say about the film. Overall, I just think it did exactly what the movie needed to do. I believe it set up where we're going in the MCU very interestingly, giving us a first look at Doom, and it's just a very exciting idea that we're gonna be entering such a comic accurate era of Marvel content, which is really, really, really fun. Yeah, that's why I have Fantastic Four at number three.
I think something about that film is going to be really unique, and I do think it's going to be remembered at the very least for it being one of the, I guess, fully good, like a movie that you could fully call good, Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah,
It is also very unique in its style and everything about that. So I very much enjoy Fantastic Four as well.
happy to hear.
What are we on to number three now? Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Fantastic Four was my number three. So go ahead with your three.
Okay. So yeah. So my number three is One Battle After Another. Ooh, what a movie. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a big Paul Thomas Anderson head. I think his films are great, every single one of them. They always have a way of twisting and turning me into an even more interesting story than the minute before it was. Um, yeah, I just thought not only was this film like interesting, it was funny as well. It was beautifully shot, and there was really never a dull moment. I honestly, I keep this and Marty Supreme are kind of like in the same category for me, in which like movies that take you on a grand epic through like the view of like one or two. Well, Marty Supreme one, but like in one battle after another. From several different characters' perspective, and I think that's I guess why I like it more. I think it's more seasoned. I guess more bold isn't the word, just definitely I feel like it has a sense of what it more secure. It's more secure in what it knows what it's doing more than Marty Supreme for obvious reasons. And so with that security comes the ability to have different perspectives and still have those perspectives like culminate into one interesting end. Um, yeah, I don't know, one battle after another, and on top of everything, it was beautiful. Um, and it had great mic drops as well. So, or what is it called?
Needle
You got
drops.
it. Needle drops.
Yeah,
That's what I meant.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Great film. One battle after another, and I love Leo in that movie. So
Yeah, he's so
there you
fun. He's so
go.
fun in that
My
film.
dude, so fun. I think Benicio too. Sean Penn as well. So fun. I could just tell that everyone is having so much fun while making that movie too. and on top of that, it's a great film. Love it. Yeah. So my number two in that case would be Weapons. Um, Weapons. I'm a big Zach Krieger head as well. I everything that he's made up to this point has just gotten me more and more interested in it, and very similar to I guess One Battle After Another as well. I like when multiple perspectives can be shown to tell one through line, and I think Weapons does that in a beautiful way, in a really interesting way, and on top of that, genuinely scary and genuinely emotional when it knows it needs to be. It's grounded in its presentation, but it's not afraid to go out there in its ideas. Um, and to continue that mystery, to keep it going, it knows when people are most interested, and then that's when it says like, okay, let me show you this other thing. I think that ability is great. And then it makes you interested in that other thing as well. I keep thinking of when the story cuts to the drug addict character, how like I think the scene before that is like the main girl character like being attacked, and like we want to know what happens more next. Just like I don't know, I think that's hilarious, and I just love the way that it decides to tell its story. Um, yeah, no, Weapons, great film.
Yeah. Funny that number two is Weapons for you because number two is Weapons for me. Uh,
There you
yeah,
go.
I love its unconventional storytelling style. Um, the way it's shot is just impeccable. It's mesmerizing. The performances from Josh Brolin and oh my goodness, what is her name? She's in Fantastic Four. Uh,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, how am I blanking? I gotta Google this 1 second,
Julia
guys.
Julia Garner.
Julia Garner,
Julia Garner. Julia Garner.
so great. Alden Ehrenreich, fantastic. Amy Madigan, Oscar nomination worthy, not win worthy, but definitely she deserves recognition. I love seeing the
Mm-hmm.
horror genre being recognized for its performances and for its just form of cinema. Just because I feel like it's horror is such an
Mm-hmm.
underrepresented critic wise. Between The Substance and Get Out a few years ago, and now this one, probably going to be a big awards darling this year. I think that's really, really exciting. Um, yeah, I don't know. I love the characters in this. I love the way that the different perspectives, connect. Um, I love me a nice cameo from Justin Long. So
Oh, for sure, bro. I can't wait to keep seeing Justin Long in more of Zach Krieger's
it's
movies.
such a
I hope
nice
he
such a nice
stays.
surprise anytime he shows up in anything. He was
Yeah, for
in
sure.
Idiocracy, that movie I talked about last week.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
he was in that. He had a small role, but just love
Okay.
seeing Justin Long. Love his vibe. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, just a great, great film. And that brings me to number one, and I think it's pretty easy to know what it is, seeing as it's the one big movie of the year I have not named yet. My number one movie of the year is Superman. Um, yeah, it was so refreshing to get a take on this character that felt so human to when I feel like Superman's been like his reputation's been kind of dragged through the mud between Zack Snyder's interpretation and then the onslaught of evil Superman character type that's just come in the past decade between Homelander and Omni Man and the Brightburn film, whatever. Um, it's so refreshing to just have such a film where kindness is such a key premise, a key theme in that movie. Um, I love how the whole world after that movie came out just collectively became kind for like 2 weeks. Um,
For sure.
kindness was the punk rock for 2 weeks, um, and then obviously that went away. But I don't know. I think I love James Gunn's style of storytelling, the way he shoots action sequences, the way he moves a camera, especially just during typical dialogue scenes. Um, James Gunn really, really, really knows how to keep the pacing and how to keep the visuals interesting when just two characters are talking, which not a lot of people can do, and I think that is deserves to be acclaimed. The supporting characters were all casted perfectly. I cannot wait to see all these characters again. And Superman is just the movie I keep thinking about when I think of cinema in 2025. And maybe that's not correct. That's not the movie I should be thinking about, but that's just how my brain works. And Superman was a very special movie to me. Um, I think I saw it 3 times in theaters, and I'm upset I didn't get to see it a fourth. Superman is my number one film of the year.
No, honestly, I 100% respect Superman being a number one. Like, I think I, 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 I don't know. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. I think it does everything so well, and I think more than it doing things so well, like what you said, the ability for this film to, like, yeah, rise, I guess, kindness, in the time that it did, and within the time frame that it did. I think that was a spectacular thing, a beautiful thing that only a film like Superman could have done, at the time. So yeah, no, I 100% don't blame you, and I think it's respectable at number one. My number one film is actually going to be Better Man. The
Oh, interesting.
the the monkey film from all the way back in
I hate
January.
to be that guy, but that's
Technically,
technically a last year release.
I know that that's technically a last year release, but I'm afraid that it won't get recognition. Especially since this film technically released this year, and I watched it this
Yeah.
year.
To be fair, I
It
was gonna put
was,
it on my list until I remembered it was uh from last year, so I will give it that.
yeah. I mean, I guess that's the only like stipulation for it being my number one. But I really wanted to mention it somewhere on this list, and then just because it really was that film for me at the time. I think, well, it was and still is. I'm actually gonna give it a rewatch after we finish this. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Just something about the story of I did not think a biopic could make me care this much. Especially as someone who's interested in the biopic genre, but generally finds them repetitive and boring. Um, Despite Timothy Chalamet's great performance, I still think the Bob Dylan movie wasn't like super interesting or fun. Um,
Totally. I agree.
but something about Robbie Williams being a monkey in this movie just really gets to me, and I think the fact that it's a musical makes it even better. I think the fact that the music is actually good makes it even better. The fact that the CGI is great, the fact that they play around with the visuals and with the they're not afraid to make it uh like a music video or like a choreography. That whole scene with them walking down the street, and then also the scene with him in the car, and then also the scene with him like falling down the water, and then also just like so many different elements of it, and it ending the way that it does with the like the "What Is a Man" song or whatever. I don't know. I can't think of one wrong thing about this film, and everything that I think of only makes me love it even more. Um, I haven't seen it since January, but I think out of almost every single one of the films here, other than maybe like, yeah, like Superman or One Battle After Another, or Weapons, uh, it's really a film that completely blew away my expectations, and just became something even more than that. And I'm really, really, really afraid that it's not going to be recognized because of its unfortunate release timing. But we'll recognize it here on the Popcorn Problems podcast.
Yeah, I think it was nominated for like best visual effects last year, like at the Oscars this year, but it didn't win.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't know. But yeah,
So
that's
really, your
my
number
number
one movie
one.
of the year is Weapons. We just want to give a little
I
nod to Butterman. I respect it.
sure.
I, I
I guess
respect it.
yeah. In
I
that
respect it.
case, then yeah. I guess in that case, yeah, Weapons is my number one movie of the year. I mean, the thing is, I watched this film. I watched Better Man
Yeah,
at the
me
beginning of the
too.
year, and
Yeah,
also it
yeah.
was released to wider audiences in the beginning of the year. So that's why I still consider it a 2025 film.
No, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So yeah,
so
that's our list.
that's our top 10 lists. We have a few more, but I think we should kind of rapid fire the bottom eight. I was thinking we could do like three sentence descriptions. I mean, not three sentence, three word descriptions, like explanations for each pick. What do you think about that?
Sure. Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so I'll start. Captain America: Brave New World is my eighth least
Okay, okay.
uh, favorite film of the year. And my three words that I'm going to use to describe it is big, massive disappointment.
Okay. Valid.
Yeah.
I agree. I have Captain America on my list as well, but I will not say where.
Okay. What do you got? What's number eight?
My number 8 is Caught Stealing. My three words were disappointing, potential, but I mean lack of there,
Hmm.
and this is technically four words. No substance, no real substance.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no real substance behind its style or behind the story. Yeah, Caught Stealing. I'll move on to my number 7. My number 7 is Black Phone. Um,
Okay.
Bland, predictable, and stretching really thin its
Hmm.
premise and its horror monster.
Interesting. Yeah, I definitely don't think Scott Derrickson intended for the movie to be as successful as it was and for it to get a sequel. So I'm not surprised.
For sure.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, I'm not surprised either.
my number seven, I'm gonna go with him, directed by Marlon Wayans. Uh, my three words are gonna be cool trailers lie. That is my three
Valid.
words. Cool trailers lie. Number six, Snow White. Um, let's see, ugly. Uh, directionless and confused. Those will be my three words for Snow White. Ugly, directionless, and confused.
I think that's a valid take. Even though I I weirdly did enjoy the Snow White remake. I 100% agree with, or I 100% see where you're coming from um with that take.
Hmm.
I actually forgot to put a number 6. So give me 1 second. Sorry about that.
Did you go from seven to five? That's
Um
funny.
I just get, yeah. No, I went from 8 to 1 and I just skipped number 6 for some reason. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. My number 6 of this year is going to be Novocaine.
Really?
I really was just unimpressed with Novocaine. I really just found it boring, amateurish, uninspired, and uninteresting. Okay, wait. So my bad. 3 words: amateur, bland, and uninteresting.
Interesting.
I think, yeah. I don't know. It just really did not get me.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't a movie I loved, but it wasn't one I would say deserves to be in the bottom eight. But hey, everyone has their own take. Um, number.
Oh, do I move on?
Hold on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You just did five, right?
I just did 6.
Six.
I
Yeah, yeah,
just did
yeah,
6. Now
yeah.
I have to do
Yeah. So now
5.
you do five. There you go.
So yeah. So my number 5 of the list is gonna be Honey Don't.
Yeah, that's fair.
Um,
That's fair.
I think my 3 words are gonna be colorful, stupid, and I guess showboaty.
Okay.
I think it tries to do. I think it's trying to kind of like almost trick the audience into being charismatic when it really isn't. I really feel like it thinks it has a personality that it doesn't, and I think that the only reason that they hired Aubrey Plaza and Margaret Qualley is because these are actresses that are known to have um, a personality
Hmm.
essentially, and I feel like just the movie itself completely missed the mark.
Yeah, I could totally agree.
Mhm.
Number five, I have Hurry Up Tomorrow. My three words are Abel can't act.
Okay.
Number four, I have Love Hurts. Um, I guess my three words for this one would be like waste of potential, just because this was like I guess the big first movie that Ki Hu Kwan got after uh everything everywhere all at
I
once,
actually
and it was a waste of potential.
completely forgot this movie came out.
Yeah, it was not very good.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's my number four.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I completely forgot this movie came out, and I it was definitely a movie this year. Um, yeah. So my number three is it? My number three
Four, four,
of this
four.
year. Oh, my bad, my bad, my bad. My number four of this year is going to be The Amateur.
Oh,
Um,
that was rough. I
yeah,
forgot about that one.
I really had no expectations for it. My three words of the movie are going to be just unmemorable, unmemorable. Rami untalented. I really don't think he's that great of an
Yeah, he was
actor. Other
miscast.
than he was completely miscast. I don't know if he was miscast. I mean, he was miscast definitely. I also think just there was nothing of substance within the story in itself or within the writing in itself either. I just think everything about this film is super like a movie that you would see come out in like the early 2000s that
Mm-hmm.
would be on the bottom of the budget DVD bin at Walmart.
Okay.
Nothing else.
Yeah, yeah, I see
Nothing
that.
spectacular about this film at all.
Yeah, no one has talked
Yeah.
about it since. I mean, it's virtually non-existent in the cultural zeitgeist. So, I mean, people are gonna forget this movie ever existed.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the way it should be. Um, and then yeah, my number three after that is gonna be the Bruce Springsteen movie. Yeah. So I really only have one word for this, which is Snorstein. It was just so boring. I could not care less. I had no interest in Springsteen as an artist before this, and I came out of it having even less interest. All it delivered for me was just a portrait of a two-dimensional man who kind of went through not that many things in his life and makes good music sometimes. That's pretty much it. Bruce Springsteen, number three.
Yeah, I left midway through the movie. I couldn't finish it. I couldn't stand the
Yeah,
idea of
no.
finishing that film. So my number three, I have Jingle Bell Heist, which was like a Netflix original Christmas movie. Um,
Mm.
and my three words are Netflix destroys Christmas. Uh, they cannot make a Christmas movie for the life of them. Every single one they make is just completely awful, and not awful in the way that like old Hallmark movies are awful, but like still watchable. They're
Yeah.
just like ridiculous. And then my number two is gonna be The Electric State, where my three words are gonna be money laundering scheme, because that movie had like a $300 million budget, and you wouldn't be able to tell based on watching the movie.
Yeah, no, I didn't even bother. I didn't even bother watching The Electric State. It's also the reason I have no faith in Doomsday, or not no faith. I have some faith, but I overall think it's not going to be a great film. I think the Russos have lost their sauce, and we'll see if that's true or not by this time next year.
Guess so, right?
Yeah. Um. So yeah. So my number two is going to be Black Bag. My three words are gonna be there. There's no bag. It's just It's just nothing. It's a nothing burger. Um, it's a nothing burger of a film. I don't even know. I honestly I wish I could tell you more about it, but I don't even remember what goes on. They're agents and they're married, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, just don't. I don't care. I don't care anymore about this movie. It has completely left my memory palace. Yeah, my number two, and then my number one is gonna be Captain America. The what is it called?
Brave New World.
The Captain America, the Brave New World. I think more than anything, the reason I have this film at number one, I never thought it was going to be, well, I thought there was potential in it, but I never thought it was going to be anything great. I think it offended me at how stupid I thought the movie thought I was. I think it offended me at how stupid Marvel thought I was, and just the general public too, in terms of like, you think you can just like give us the literally one of the worst movies I've ever seen, one of the least cohesive. I mean, I guess it is cohesive, but like I everything about that film was so slapped together last minute. Nothing felt like it had an actual direction or heart or
It was
soul.
a Frankenstein
Um,
movie. It truly was,
it
by
was a
by
Frankenstein
all
movie.
definitions of the word, like a Frankenstein film.
Absolutely. And I just think that if we had a definition of what a movie written by AI would be, it'd be Brave New World. I yeah, I don't know. I was just very genuinely horribly distraught, not in a sad way, more of just like a I just wasted 120 or however long that movie is minutes of my life, and I will never get those back.
Yeah,
So yeah, Captain America: Brave New World, what a waste! Horrible, horrible, horrible film,
yeah,
and I hope it squeals under its grave.
yeah. Well, clearly they're ignoring that movie. I mean, I guess we'll see what they do with bringing back Steve, but poor Sam, man, couldn't catch a break. Got a mid TV
I
show, a shitty movie. Now it's going to get overshadowed by Steve coming back. He really never given a fair chance at being Captain America. Very, very sad.
absolutely I feel so bad for him, but I mean at this point it's not even his fault. You know what I mean? Like it just sucks for him.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move into our top five of the decade. I think let's just.
Wait, did you say your number one?
Oh my God! I thought I, for some reason, I already said it. I thought I said mine. War of the Worlds is my number one. Uh,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and my review is gonna be first AI movie. You cannot convince me real humans looked at this and thought it was okay to release into the public. It's a glorified Amazon ad. Um, yes, there are some really, really funny memes from it, but it's really not. There's no reason why you should ever waste your precious time on this earth watching War of the Worlds. You will get nothing from it.
Yeah.
Just truly a disappointing. Not even disappointing because it's not like I had any expectations for it, but it's truly a disappointment to the art form in general. Um,
No, I 100%. I mean, I haven't seen it, but I've seen enough. I've seen enough. I've seen enough.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, so the next thing we're gonna be doing on this episode is the top five of the decade. Since this episode is running a bit long, I think we should just kind of list them like in a row. So I'll go first.
Yeah.
My number
Yeah.
five for the decade is The Fablemans, directed by Steven Spielberg. My number
Hmm.
four is Wonka, directed by Paul King. My number three is Superman by James Gunn. And my number two is Tick Tick Boom, directed by Lin Manuel Miranda. And my number one is Babylon, directed by Damien Chazelle. Um, I think clearly 2022 is my uh, favorite year when it comes to cinema this decade. I think it had some really, really strong stuff. I think the weakest year so far has been 2024. And the most solid, like through and through, I would say is 2023.
Yeah. I definitely have the most films from 2023 on my list.
Okay, I'm curious to see
Um,
what your list looks like.
so my top five of the list is going to be at number five, Blackberry, directed by Matthew Johnson in 2023.
Hmm.
Number four is Beau is Afraid, directed by Ari Aster in
Oh, we saw
2023.
that one together,
Uh,
actually.
yeah, yeah, we did see that one together. My number three is gonna be Better Man, directed by Michael Gracie in 2025, 2024. My number two is gonna be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem, directed by
Ooh,
Jeff Rowe in 2023. And then my top film of the year of the whole decade so far has been The Worst Person in the World by Joachim Trier, and from 2021.
awesome. So yeah, we have pretty different lists.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't know. I still think um, even though they're very different, I think they both have some like really strong movies on there. Um, and I'm glad that what's it called? We have different lists because it just gives us the ability to share different movies. I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. It gives us more variety. I feel.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Um,
Um,
and then the last thing that we have planned for this episode, guys, is looking forward to 2026 with our top 10 most anticipated films of 2026. So I'll start us off. My 10th most anticipated film is Dune 3. Dune 1 and 2 have been such cinematic events, and I'm very excited to see where they're going to go for the third one. I know there is a time skip, and I believe it's going to be the next one where the next time we're going to see Timothy Chalamet in theaters. So that's really exciting.
mm, yeah, yeah, for sure. Dune 3 didn't make my list, but I am very much excited for it.
Nice. What starts off your list?
Okay. Are you not gonna go to number 8 and then?
Okay. Do you just
Or
want me to say? Do you just want me to say my whole list, and then we'll go to yours?
no, no, no. I can. We can switch. I just thought you were gonna go to number 8 and then I'll go to my 10. Whatever. Actually, that doesn't make sense. Um. So yeah, my number 10 of my list is gonna be Supergirl. I think it has a lot of potential to be something interesting. And I want to see the contrast between what Superman is versus what Supergirl is. Um, and I'm really excited to see the story of Woman of Tomorrow adapted to film, especially by a talented or seemingly talented actress, Millie Alcock. I think it could be something interesting, and also progressing into the DC universe, which I'm very heavily invested in.
Yeah, Supergirl's on my list. It's a little higher up.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
For number 9, I have Clayface. Even though we don't know particularly too much about this yet, just the fact that it was written by horror uh, genius Mike Flanagan really gets me excited. I think the fact that it is kind of going to be our first time looking into the DCU's Gotham is really exciting. Yes, is it a little strange to be the third movie in a cinematic universe? But I'm still very excited. It gives me a lot of the substance vibes for what we do know about the film, and yeah, it should be really cool to see how it's going to tie into the greater DC universe and build out the Batman area of the world.
For sure. I also have Clayface on my list, but it's higher up, a lot higher up. I would very much agree with everything that you're saying. So yeah, number 9 on my list is going to be Avengers Doomsday. As I mentioned before, do I think it's going to be good? No, but I think that's a lot of the reason why I'm also incredibly excited for it. I think whatever it turns out to be, it's going to be spectacular. Whether a shit show or or great is it has yet to be determined, but it's going to be spectacular regardless. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much to say about it. I just can't wait for it to come out. Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, that's on my list too, so I'll give my thoughts when we get there. At number
For sure.
8, I have Michael, the Michael Jackson biopic.
I also have Michael for number 8.
Really? Okay, so okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I like I've said on multiple occasions, I am getting tired of the whole biopic shtick, but I feel like Michael Jackson is like the one artist where like it makes sense to have a biopic just because of his cultural relevancy and just how huge he is. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think this should easily be $1 billion picture. I think they casted him really well. His is it his nephew or some
Yeah, I think it's his nephew.
yeah, looks just like him, sounds like him. Uh, Obviously, we haven't seen much acting in the trailer, so I guess that's going to be like the final
Mm-hmm.
piece of the puzzle that we need to see. But I'm still very excited for the Michael movie, and I'm just going to be excited for Michael Jackson songs to be trending, because those are all bangers. So very exciting. And number 8, I have Michael Jackson. What made you put Michael at 8?
Yeah, so I am also very much in agreement. I grew up with Michael Jackson being constantly played in my house, so just the music in itself is very nostalgic and memorable to me, like as it is to many people, I'm sure. Um, I think this movie also has a lot of potential to be spectacular. I think I'm more interested also in the discourse that it plays and also what it chooses to include within its story. I think that's going to be what I'm definitely going to be looking out for while watching the film. Obviously, I don't think it's going to do any serious analysis or critique on the character of Michael Jackson or who he has been theorized to be or whatever. Um, it's gonna be a puff piece essentially. But if it's a puff piece, I hope it's great. And if it's not, I think at the very least it could give some sort of. I just hope I hope it makes the person Michael Jackson as interesting as he was in real life, whether that means the good or the bad things.
Yeah, we'll
I'm a
see.
little
We'll see how
afraid.
it chooses to handle those aspects of the film.
Yeah, I guess I'm just a little afraid that he's just gonna be like, I'm Michael Jackson, and then I go on stage and say tee hee, and like that's it. You know what I mean? Like I'm afraid it's not gonna give you more than what we already know of the character,
Hmm.
of the person. I mean, of more than a Wikipedia page. Basically, what I thought, Priscilla, the Priscilla Presley movie,
Hmm.
um, basically what I thought that was. I'm afraid it's gonna be like that.
Yeah. We I guess we just need to wait and see till we get more
For sure.
context. But I am excited. So
Me too. I'm very excited for that film.
yeah,
I also do want Michael Jackson songs to be trending.
yeah,
That'd be fun.
yeah. So at my number seven, I have Supergirl. It was higher when the Superman came out. It did drop after the trailer came out, just because I think it is too similar in vibe to Guardians of the Galaxy. And until I see
Mm-hmm.
something that proves me otherwise, um, I kind of feeling a negative vibe towards it. And also, I did recently start reading the comic run that the movie is based on, and it's a very vibrant story. And I wasn't really getting that in the trailer. And it's not often that uh, comic book films do direct adaptations of stories, but this one seems to be doing as close as we'll get to a direct adaptation of a comic run. So I don't know. I just need to see it kind of be its own thing rather than like a Guardians of the Galaxy or something like that. I just got to see more of its identity before I can truly be excited for it.
For sure. No, I agree. I did notice that within the comic run itself, and I also hope that within the film. I don't think we got a lot of that colorfulness in the trailer that we saw, but hopefully that it changes with the actual film in itself. Do you have another one, or is it my turn now?
It's your turn.
No, you.
What'd you put for seven?
Oh yeah. So my number seven is actually the drama, starring Robert Pattinson and Zendaya,
Ooh,
and
okay.
directed by
Christopher Borgli.
uh, Borgli, who did the 2020 something film Dream Scenario, with the
Oh,
2023 film Dream
okay. I
Scenario
didn't
with
know it's the
Nicolas
same
Cage.
director. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think that's also with Zendaya and Robert Pattinson being included within the film. I think also it being directed by Christopher Borgli. Um, it's just another extra sense of weird that I unfortunately was spoiled the premise. I think that's something very interesting that they're keeping it. That they're keeping that they're not telling an audience yet, especially with its one trailer. I hope they keep it like that um, until the film comes out. But from what I do know of the premise, it that could be something very weird and interesting and just I haven't seen before. So yeah, I don't know. Number seven, the drama.
Yeah, I just saw the trailer for this before Marty Supreme, and it looks really good. I'm looking forward to it.
For sure, for
Um,
sure.
yeah, my number six is gonna be Scary Movie 7. um, Scary Movie is a franchise that I'm just now starting to become like kind of a big fan of, but I
Mm-hmm.
think that they're really clever comedies when done well. Specifically, that first one, I think is really good satire on the horror genre. It's been many years since the last one, and there's so many great films that they are going to be able to parody and make fun of in this movie. I know some that we already know that they're going to be parodying. A big thing is going to be the kind of the Scream reboot era. There is a rumor that after Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega um, left Scream 7, that they were picked up by Marlon Wayans for Scary Movie 7 to play like parody versions of their Scream characters. And if that is
Really?
true, that is going to be hilarious because they've never
No
went
way.
that far. Yeah, and like apparently like Jenna Ortega would be playing a character named Tuesday, which is like a parody on Wednesday, and then
Yeah, yeah.
her Scream character.
That's so
Um,
stupid. I love it.
yeah. It's just things like that that like I think could be really cool if executed correctly. But also there's movies like Scary Movie 2, which are just
Hmm.
awful and unfunny and just hard to watch. So it
Yeah.
is a difficult track record, but I think since it's been so long since the last one, I think they're bringing it back for a reason. And I'm, if the rumors are true, I think it could be like a generational comedy, especially for those that know like the lore. I just think that's such a funny idea, and it would definitely be a way for them to get back to the Scream franchise.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have it on my list, but I Scary Movie 7, is that what it is? No. 6? Is it
7.
Scary Movie 6? What?
Oh, it actually might be Scary Movie 6. I think you're right. Oops, have I think I've been saying 7, right? It
Wait.
Yeah, it is
Let's
Scary
find.
Movie 6. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely will be watching Scary Movie 6. I'm very excited as to, yeah, what it could critique in this modern genre.
Yeah, and
We haven't
also
had
they're bringing
one.
back a lot of the old cast, which is a
There you
really
go.
cool,
Exactly.
a really yeah. On
Right.
top of all the new characters, they'll be having the original characters back,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to be fun, just because especially that first one, because the first one also covers like Scream territory. The first one
Mm-hmm.
is a big parody on the first Scream, so a lot of those Scream as characters from that first one are being back in this one, and it's very exciting.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had a scary movie since 2013. It's more than a decade.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I want to see fresh blood, and I want to see old blood as well.
perfect. So yeah, so my number six most anticipated movie is Scary Movie 6.
That my number 6 most anticipated movie is Disclosure Day from Steven Spielberg. I The trailer recently came out, and I was not very impressed, um, to be honest. But I just think another sci-fi film, with Steven Spielberg in the sort of era of filmmaking that he's in right now, considering West Side Story and The Fablemans, could be a very interesting film, something we haven't seen before, from a great like him. So, like I said, as much as the trailer didn't really impress me or interest me, um, I still feel like there's more, that he's not showing us, obviously, and that
Mhm.
has yet to be shown or said. And Joshua
Yeah,
Connor's in the movie, so gotta love that.
yeah. Funny enough, my number five is also Disclosure Day, so I'm just gonna
Oh, okay.
join in the conversation. Yeah, I'm kind of miss when Spielberg movies felt like Spielberg movies, and I feel like this is the
Mm-hmm.
first time, I would say since maybe BFG. Because even I rewatched Ready Player One recently, and that one didn't feel especially as Spielbergian to me. But this one really gives me that old Spielberg vibe, like the fantasy outer space esque vibe. I think the
Mm-hmm.
ensemble cast here has the potential to be something really special, like maybe on the Knives Out level of ensemble usage. Um, and I'm very excited. I'm very happy. Josh O'Connor's getting all these movie roles. He's such a gem. And yeah, my number five is Disclosure Day, and yours number six was Disclosure Day. That's pretty cool.
There you go. And then in that case, I'll put my number 5 as Clayface. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, a very weird choice to have this as the next DC movie, but I'm rocking with it if you are. And I just want to see. I really just want to see what this Clayface movie could be. I know it's being heavily adapted from the Batman animated TV show episode.
Yeah,
I hope it's not a complete and utter retread. Um, but regardless of that, I am interested in a more interpersonal story within the DC universe. Uh, yeah, Clayface number 5.
yeah. My number four is going to be Avengers Doomsday. Um, I really want to be excited for this movie, and I am, but there is also just such a strong sense of fear within me. This
Mm-hmm.
movie could go so wrong. It could go so well. We just really need to see what the movie's actually about, because really we don't know anything, and every new thing that we learn just makes less and less sense to me. So I'm eternally curious. Ha,
Honestly,
Eternals.
I feel like
Haha.
that just makes more fun. Oh, I get it. I think that just makes it more fun. Everything that I hear just makes it sound more like a mess, and it just makes me more curious and more like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are we
It's like,
talking about
yes,
here, bro?
if it's bad, it's gonna be so sad. But imagine if it's good. Imagine if it hits. Oh my God,
Imagine if they actually pull it off,
we're
bro.
in for a
No.
generational film. So I gotta hang out hope. I gotta hang out hope.
Well, if this one if Avengers Doomsday turns out to be good, we still have to also consider if Secret Wars, its conclusion, is going to be good as well.
Yeah, there you go. It's two peas in a pod. So we'll see.
So we don't even know, but we'll see. We'll see by this time next year, hopefully.
We'll see if it
Oh
ends up on
boy.
our
Yeah,
top list next year.
for sure. Um. So then, yeah. In that case, my number four is I'm gonna cheat a little bit on this one. I'm gonna put Hoppers and Goat
Okay.
as my number four, just because they're very similar movies in kind of like the space that they hold within your head, and they're also coming out around the same time, like with a month apart about. So yeah, I don't know. I think Hoppers. I think I'm more excited for Hoppers because of its, Pixar label, and also the person, director behind it, working on a little cartoon called We Bear Bears on Cartoon Network. If you've heard of it.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm not particularly excited for the premise. What if animals could, or what if humans could understand animals, and what if animals were sentient and had their own like communities or whatever? I feel like we've seen that story before, which is what interests me in seeing what could be done differently,
Hmm.
and what this director can say with this sort of similar premise. And in that sort of vein, Goat as well. We've seen movies of animal civilizations, like humans somewhat, like Zootopia 2 and Zootopia in general. And we've seen sports movies. So, how that could be mixed with also the interesting style that Sony Pictures tends to have, or has these days. Sony Pictures Animation, I mean. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm more curious about Goat, and I'm more hopeful that Hoppers is good.
Hmm.
I really have no expectation as to if Goat is going to be good or not. It could swing either way for me. But the fact that I'm interested in a talking basketball Goat movie, is something to say to begin with. So, yeah, that's number four, Hoppers and Goat.
Yeah, I don't have any animated films on my list for
Mm-hmm.
next year, just because I hate to say I'm very burnt down on the animation genre right now. I feel like everything's a cheap kids cash grab for the most part.
I can see that.
And
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, Goat and Hoppers look optimistically positive for me. I'll have to wait and see. My number three is going to be The Odyssey. I am very excited to see what Christopher Nolan's going to be doing next. It's essentially the biggest blank check film I feel like in recent history, if not ever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's going to be the movie of our generation, and I feel like he's really going to make history with that film. I'm very excited. The cast is spectacular. That 6 minute prologue before Avatar Fire and Ash really made me lock the fuck in. Um,
Did you watch it?
yeah, I did.
Oh, I didn't get it. I didn't get it in my screening.
Yeah, it was. I did, thankfully, and it was so awesome. Looks so cool. I'm really really hyped for the Odyssey. And I just want to see how it's going to impact just movies in general because I have a feeling that blockbusters are going to have to step up their game after that because I think it's really going to be a game changer. But we'll see how it plays out. What do you have at number three?
Yeah, real quickly, I actually don't have Odyssey on my list just because while I am excited for that film, it looks like up to this point with all the trailers, I did not get to see the 6 minute special feature. But all the trailers they've shown me just Norse Viking men yelling and screaming and crying and talking. And these people look like movie stars, regardless. It's Tom Holland and all these people.
Right.
So I think I really have to be in the film to really like be properly engrossed within the story. Um, I am excited to see what Nolan does with this grand epic scale with all the money that he's been given. I know it's going to be something interesting at the very least. Um, I just with a story as big and as high school book report paper type of movie, like there's a lot of potential for a lot of boring moments is essentially what I'm saying. So I want to see how he makes them interesting. I'm sure it will be, but I up to this point I haven't seen anything with the trailers. Haven't shown me anything that like I'm really dying to witness. Can I ask you what was in the 6 minute? Like, what did they display in that 6 minute special feature?
It just kind of shows like the story of the Trojan horse and them like infiltrating with that. I guess it's like they'll probably. My guess is it's going to be like the first 6 minutes of the movie in general. But I
Mm-hmm.
just kind of give you a sense of like the scale and the cinematic action that it's going to be giving in the movie, and it's really cool.
Oh man, I do wish I watched it. Or I do wish my screening had that so I could
Did you
actually
see?
sit with a
Did you see it
movie.
in IMAX?
No, I didn't see it in
Okay,
IMAX.
that's why they only played it in IMAX.
I see, I see, I see. Um, well, yeah, that's that then. Which leads me to my number three, which is Spider-Man: Brand New Day. Um, yeah, I don't know. With the trailer that leaked, I I have a weird confidence in this film that it could be something interesting. Especially with Daniel Destin Cretton. Is that his name?
Yeah,
Yeah, Daniel Destin Cretton's new voice behind the Spider-Man films. I really am just interested in seeing a new revitalized voice within the story within the MCU Spider-Man. And I think I don't know. I want to see how this leads up to Doomsday as well. So even though it probably won't do much of that, it probably won't be really relevant to Doomsday. But regardless, Spider-Man 4 is my number three.
nice. Number two. I feel like my top two are pretty easy to guess, Nick, if you know me. At number two, I have Scream 7, which
Mm.
is, I believe, the earliest release of any of these on my list. Um, Super, super excited. I mean, it's going to be a massive return to form for the Scream franchise. We're getting Sydney back. Um, we're getting the writer of pretty much the first two. The original guy who came up with the story, it's his baby. um, Kevin Williamson. It's the first time he's getting able to direct one of these movies, which is really, really exciting to me. Um, I feel like he really knows the franchise. Um, we have Stu coming back in some way. We have a bunch of the other killers coming back. It's really going to be such a fun movie. I think we've seen very little of it, and I think that's on purpose. Um, I'm very, very excited for Scream 7, and I know I'm going to be attending a Q&A screening with Matthew Lillard for that film, um,
Really
which I'm really, really excited for. Yeah, because I have a convention that same weekend where a lot of the cast is going to be attending.
cool, interesting. I didn't know that. Well, I mean, or maybe you did. Maybe I did, and I just forgot. But that's super cool. I'm very excited to hear what you have to say after you go through that.
Yeah, I know there's some like drama behind this film, and although maybe things didn't play out the way that they should have, I think
Mm-hmm.
creatively where they were gonna go originally with the seventh film, I really didn't like that idea. Take they were gonna make Sam, which is Melissa Barrera's character. She was
Mm-hmm.
gonna be the Ghostface in the seventh one, and I didn't like that because it just would have undone all her character development from the last few films. And I think if you're gonna do a reveal where our lead is a ghost face, that should be an original character and not something else. I don't know. It would be tricky to pull that off. I don't know if it could be done successfully, but I'm really happy it's not going to be happening in this one. And also, I'm really liking where it seems the story's going. Um, I'm really, really excited for Scream 7. When that comes out, we're going to have a lengthy discussion about it.
For sure, for sure. I'll see if I'll I'll see if I'll get caught up at the other Scream movies. It's kind of a lot of homework, but if
Yeah,
not,
we should.
it's
I'm
so.
thinking we could do like a thing where every week leading up to it for what we watched, we like
Mhm.
watch one a week to just kind of catch up, and then we could like discuss it on the podcast. What do you think?
Sure, we could. Yeah, a big countdown to Scream 7. Yeah, we
Yeah.
could do that.
I
I'd be
don't know.
down
We'll
to
see
do
when we
that.
get there. But yeah, number two for me is going to be Scream 7. Um, and even talking about it, like it's very close to being number one. But for now, it has to be number two.
Of course. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I'm not excited for Scream 7 as you are. Like I said, I'm not as big of a franchise as big of a fan of the franchise, but it still could be something interesting, and I'm excited to see what it became after all of the changes within the film so last minute. Yeah. So my number two is gonna be Tom Cruise's Digger by
Ooh,
Alejandro
that
Inarritu.
almost made my list. I'm looking forward to this a lot.
I'm very much looking forward to this film. I'm looking forward to seeing another like a new great like proper character performance from Tom Cruise
Yeah,
and supporting that Alejandro Inarritu, one of this generation's most interesting and inspired filmmakers to date. Um, I don't know. I just know what this movie is a firecracker in my opinion. It's just waiting to combust when it comes out, and I can't wait to see it. Genuinely, I have no idea. I mean, I have an idea of the premise. I think it's like a guy is trying to like save the world because he thinks he's like a god or something like that. I don't really understand the premise, and I think me not understanding it makes me even more excited for it. There's so much that I don't know about this film yet, and I can't wait to know about it when it actually comes out because I don't think the trailers are going to tell us anything. Even if they give us more information, I don't think I'm going to get a grasp of it until I actually watch the film. So that's that.
yeah, I'm excited for this one. I like the other films by this director. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He's a little bit of a complicated name. But I'm quite looking forward to this. I guess that brings me to my number one of the film. And if you know me at all, you know my number one most anticipated film of this year is going to be Spider-Man: Brand New Day. From everything we know about this film to everything that we don't know about this film, it just sounds like it's going to be a roller coaster in July. I cannot wait to see Frank and Peter on the big screen. I can't wait to see what Spider-Man's been up to. I'm ready to see MCU Spider-Man have that sauce because I never think Tom Holland was responsible for any of the issues with the other movies in his Spider-Man movies, in his Spider-Man films. He was never the problem, and so I think when you get a director like Destin Daniel Cretton that really knows how to direct action, um, especially in Shang Chi, for example, I think it's really cool to be getting a new creative voice to this franchise and to one that seems like it's gonna not reboot the character, but change the way we view this specific iteration of Spider-Man. It's definitely gonna be a whole
Mm-hmm.
new journey for him, which I'm very excited to go on. So yeah,
For sure, absolutely. Yeah, I can't deny everything about Spider-Man. I just can't wait to see really what it becomes and really what Spider-Man how the character of Spider-Man and Peter Parker evolves after this film.
yeah.
Um, which leads me to my number one of the list, which is Coyote versus Acme
Oh
film.
yeah, that's a very fair pick. Almost made my list.
Yeah, I think a lot of what made this to my number one is the fact that like it was saved from the abyss of tax write-offs. Um, but also apart from that whole drama that came about it, I I've said this time and time again. I love the Looney Tunes, and I love films that integrate both cartoon and human performances. Sometimes more than I'm a big fan of Looney Tunes back in action. Underrated classic, I might say.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. I think the idea of this film is so weird and stupid that it, it, it it's so silly that I can't help but be charmed by its premise alone. Um, and yeah, the Looney Tunes being there helps. John Cena being there helps even more. And will it be like the best film of the year? No. Will it be my favorite film of the year? Probably not. But is it the one that I'm most interested in seeing what actually comes out of it? I would say so. Yeah. So yeah, Coyote versus Acme is my number one.
Yeah, that's a very great pick. I'm really happy that it's even possible that we're going to be seeing this movie. Because for the longest time we really thought we weren't. So it's just really, really, really cool that fans could come together and get a movie like this saved from the grave. Um, with that being said, that brings us to the end of our episode of our top 10 lists of the year, along with our other bonus rankings. Um, we will be back this time next week, back to our normal programming. Not sure exactly what movie we'll be reviewing, so we'll get to that next week. In the meantime, you can hit us up on socials at Popcorn Problems Pod and let us know what you thought of our rankings and give us your own rankings if you like. Maybe we'll even share some on the next podcast if we get any cool ones. Don't forget to follow, rate us 5 stars on whatever platform you're using, and DM us your hottest takes and suggestions. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Have a good one, guys.